Hey there, Crushing It 2021, digging deeper. We're gonna call this Crushing It 2021, dig deeper. That's what phase 2 of this is gonna be about. But tonight, I just wanna talk to you guys. I wanna share my story with you, my husband and mine story with you about how we went from gym rats to slugs, basically. So when my husband and I met 10 years ago, my family owned a gym and my brother ran the gym and I worked at the gym. And I was a personal trainer and I worked out every single day with my clients. And then I had a good friend of mine who would meet me at the end of my working day and work out with me. And I had always worked out on some level, like my whole life. I was a dancer. I mean, I always moved my body, but this was a time when I was really building muscle and very lean. And I was very intentional about what I ate. I did cardio and weightlifting. And I was probably in the best shape of my life. No, I wasn't probably. I was in the best shape of my life. And I actually met my husband for the first time when he began being trained by my brother. And he would probably tell you he was in the best shape of his life. And he used to call himself a gym rat. He was there at the gym all the time. It was who he was. I don't know what happened, but somewhere along the way, at different times, we both lost our track. And it really doesn't matter why or how, so much as how do we change that? And I have to tell you that we have had periods of time where we've gotten back into action and had great results, and then we fall right back off again. We haven't been committed to the idea of changing and getting back to that being our state of being. And it's been really hard to get my mind set to want to get up and go to the gym, to get up and go work out. I just haven't been willing to do it. I guess the payoff hasn't been big enough, and I've been making a lot of other things a priority. So the other day I was thinking, you know what? Why don't we just commit to it for 100 days? And I don't mean commit to like going in and busting it. Let's just start with just committing to moving our body for 100 days in a row. And I think I can do that, because if I'm just at least committing to something, and doing something, I will begin to rewire those neural pathways, and I'll start changing myself to somebody who works out again. So, and I feel like it's a 100-day commitment, although it may seem long, is probably the best commitment you can make. I know they say 21 days to make a habit, but it's just not true. You begin to rewire neural pathways, but if you're not continually strengthening those wirings of those neural pathways, they're going to unravel. In fact, science shows that if you learn something, you ridiculously create like quadruple the amount of neuro connections that you have around that. But if you don't immediately use it or turn around and teach it to somebody within 24 hours, they immediately start unraveling. So you can start building new neural pathways, but you won't keep them, and they won't change who you are unless you continually do it. So I think science actually says it's 66 days to really build strong neural pathways. But John Assaraf says commit to something for 100 days. Now, I'm going to interview some people for transformation next month, and one of them, who had a tremendous weight loss, started out with just committing to 30 days, and then she would move the needle forward, which is perfectly okay. I knew that wasn't going to be enough for me. I knew I had to make a bigger commitment, because I can do 30 days. I needed to commit for a longer period of time. So we agreed one night, and the next day we started moving. That was 2 days ago. We're 2 days in, and I'm not going to tell you that it's going to be easy for us to want to move our body every day, and we haven't committed to any other changes at this moment, but I know that we have to if we want to start changing who we are. And I really want to go back to being a person who works out, a person who's fit. And it's important to me for different reasons nowadays, not just for how I look. I don't mind looking better, my clothes fitting better, but I really want to go into the rest of my life being healthy. I worked my whole first part of my life being healthy, and now I'm on the second half of my life, and I really want to be healthy for the long haul. And the other day, my blood pressure shot up, and I do think it was because of stress, and I was able to immediately get it lowered again because I know how to, but I just don't want to go down that path. And I do know how to, and that's the whole point. I know how to be fit. I know how to be healthy. So shame on me for not doing it. So I do have a little bit of I have unfair advantage in a lot of ways because I understand how the brain works, I understand how the body works, and what I want to do is give you guys that too. And I just think that you should pick something and start moving that needle forward. So what you're gonna have to do is pick something and commit to it, right? And the reason I just decided to move my body because I couldn't commit to something bigger. Now this may transform into, you know what, let's go to the gym. I went to the gym, let's go to the gym 2 times a week. It may grow in the 100 days, but I knew right now it was just more important to move, okay? So one of the big mistakes that I make and everybody makes is we commit to too much and then we get overwhelmed and close down. So pick something and start moving the needle forward and commit to it at least for 30 days, then go for 45, then 60 and grow it from there. But I want you to begin to rewire these neural pathways and interrupt the patterns that you have. Now, if you're gonna quit something, I think that you need to look at it a little bit deeper. You need to think about, when do I do this? What could I do instead of doing this? What will I do when I'm in this situation where I usually do this? In my case, it's just moving my body. So it's a commitment to move my body before the end of the day, no matter what. And really, if I can get up and just move it first thing, which is what I'm doing right now, move it first thing, no matter, if I only have 10 minutes, then I have 10 minutes, that's it. You know, if I have 45 minutes, then I'll do them, 45 minutes. So it's a little bit different because I'm creating a new habit instead of changing a habit or releasing a habit. So I have to create new neural pathways around working out. When you drink coffee every day, what you want to do is kind of unravel that neural pathway and create a new one. And so what you have to do is interrupt the behavior and create a new behavior around it, and you have to plan out, what will I do instead of what will I do when this comes up, and things like that. So you have to think it through and have a plan of action. And then just know, when you have a craving for something, like most cravings for anything, if it's a cigarette, if it's for alcohol, if it's for sugar, it doesn't last that long. So if you can do some pattern interrupting, which means what am I gonna do if I really, really want chocolate? Or when I normally eat chocolate is at 6 o'clock at night, or when I sit down in front of the TV, what will I do instead of that? And create a new behavior, or create a complete change of behavior. So if normally you go to the bar after work and drink alcohol, and you want to stop drinking alcohol, you're not going to go to the bar after work, right? You're going to create a new behavior. Maybe you're going to go to the gym instead. Maybe you're going to go for a walk instead. Maybe you're going to go to the park instead. So there's different aspects of this that you should wire into this so that you can just completely create interruptions and new behaviors, and not just like changing behaviors. So I hope that helps you guys a little bit. Just kind of start moving the needle forward with this. I'm gonna look at my notes here and see if there's anything else I want to tell you guys about. I just think it's really important that you learn how to create a new way of being instead of just trying to change things temporarily. You've got to rewire those neural pathways and change who you are and change the identity of who you are. Another good thing to do is look at who you want to be at the end of this. Well, there is no end. Why you're doing this, I should say. Why are you doing this? What's the purpose you're doing this? What outcome do you want? And keeping that in mind. And it's also a really good idea to get up and write it first thing in the morning. What do I do with my day? Oh, and to check it off. So we've talked about this before. So what you want to do is make the new behavior the reward, and not the result, but the behavior. So for me, the reward is moving my body at all, right? Every day, moving my body so that I can become somebody who's active again. If it doesn't matter what it is for you, but if you can check that off and reward yourself, you actually get a dopamine hit when you check something off. So you want to check it off and that you've done it, and that will help you, but also know that the reward is in the behavior. And you can even reward yourself. When I've done it for 5 days or when I've done it for a week, I'll do this. I'll have an hour of my favorite activity, which has nothing to do with anything bad. So you don't want to drink coffee after 7 days. You want to not have coffee after 7 days. You want to do something else that would give you some enjoyment and some fulfillment and reward your behavior. But make the real reward in the doing of the behavior. Okay, I think that's it for now. I hope that helps you guys, and I hope that it helps you move the needle forward. If you want to move the needle forward in some area, why don't you just put down below a check mark that you are working on moving that needle forward. Just put a check mark so that I know. If you want to share with me what you're doing to move that needle forward, then that's great too. If you're here on my YouTube channel, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope this helps you guys move your needle forward and just start becoming who you're meant to be. Please subscribe and hit that notification bell and like my videos so I know that you like it, because if I know you like it, this is what you're looking for and the kind of content that you're here to receive, then I will definitely make more of that. Okay, so stick around. If you're not on my Instagram, go find my Instagram, because that's where I'm tracking our 100-day journey. See you there.